How bad is corruption in the country? Today's anti-corruption march is likely to help reduce the scourge. How does corruption at local government level impact delivery of services? And can corruption be blamed for the widening gap between the rich and the poor? What time is it? It is question time. Hello and welcome. My name is Mpho Saidu. Hundreds of people, including members of trade unions, civil society, and the religious community, participated in anti-corruption marches in Cape Town, Pretoria, and Durban today. The marches were aimed at protesting against fraud and corruption in South Africa. Corrupt practices are threatening the gains made through the ushering of a new democratic dispensation in 1994. Meanwhile, the African National Congress has welcomed the marches by saying corruption is a societal issue that requires societal rejection and action. A reminder that this is a live program, and therefore you can call us and air your views on the numbers 089-110-4210. The numbers again 089-110-4210. And our Twitter handle remains @QuestionTime24. My guest today, Advocate Kevin Malunga, is the Deputy Public Protector, and Andile Mqitama is the National Convener at Blackfest Land Fest. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Advocate, you were recently speaking on issues of corruption, and I remember you were quoted as saying that to fight this problem, we need to come together as government and the private sector, as no one can win this fight alone. And you added, therefore, by saying urgent need to develop a transversal code of conduct to help curb ethical shortfalls in how those in public sector conducted themselves. Let's talk about this briefly.
Thanks, Mr. Stedu. Thanks to the viewers. You're absolutely right. It is a national problem which affects everybody. Just to quote Professor Stephen Friedman last week, he said, corruption is the most successful public-private partnership in the country. So for us, every day as we do our work, we are alive to the threat posed by corruption, maladministration, and all sorts of irregular behavior in the public service. Okay. And this actually steals millions of hard-earned taxpayer money. And I don't even want to necessarily talk about what happened today, but it's good that everybody's endorsing it. That's
I wanted to come to that, actually.
Yes.
Where does the public protector stand on this matter? Are you with the marches, for the marches, against the march?
Of course, what I want to emphasize is, as the public protector, everybody in this republic is our stakeholder, right? And if I want to be lighthearted, I'll say you are all our children. Okay, we protect all of you.
Yes.
And the reality of that is, whether you are EFF or ANC or DA or BLF, Mr. Mqitama, who here, we protect all of you. We have a duty in terms of the Constitution to protect everybody, regardless of political affiliation, race, gender, creed, whatever. So what we represent is a value system. Okay. Which is the conscience of the state.
So are you happy when people rise?
Certainly, I mean, look, I think there's no harm, and I'm glad that there is a consensus. I saw that Minister Jeff Hadebe in the presidency was there to receive this particular was it the memorandum? Yes. What was unfortunate, if the reports are true, that if he was booed, that is a lack of maturity on the part of the marchers. Listen, people must be able to engage. Okay. But otherwise, we are saying we protect everyone. And of course, initiatives on an ongoing basis, because remember, for us, we don't march against corruption on the 29th of September 2015. We march against corruption 365 days a year, 24/7. It's our job.
All right. Andile, you were not at the march. What kind of a politician are you?
I'm not a politician, I'm a revolutionary. Black First, Land First is about fundamental change. And the march itself, we have many different problems with it. Firstly, it does not address the central question. In fact, we argue that it precisely blocks our view from the real problem. And we don't accept this idea that corruption is everything, because if it is everything and everybody's involved, then it is nothing. For us, they are beneficiaries of corruption and they are victims. And this comes from our history. By the way, South Africa is founded on corruption and crime. Jan van Riebeeck, the founder of South Africa, was a convicted criminal and a corrupt guy. And that corruption in terms of the state was not stopped in 1994. So what we're saying, this march today against corruption, we saw it led by people who have been part of the ruling party, in fact. So it is just using a real question, because corruption is a real issue, to settle political scores, including matching with racists of the AfriForum, Solidarity. Now, for us, fighting corruption must be ethical, must be principled, must be about decolonization. By the way, for us, the main corrupt people is white capital, and we've just undertaken a research, and our report shows that white capital have stolen, and we can find this money, 563 billion rand. We're not talking about millions. That's small change stolen by politicians to cover for the real theft of white money, business that steals from us. And you know, I'm sitting next to the deputy public protector here. Some of the problems is that the office of the public protector is too concerned about small theft, like Ngandla. Yes, fine. Ngandla 1, Ngandla 2, Ngandla 3. But we say number 4. Can we put on that agenda theft by white capital? You know, in their office, there is a report of 26 billion rand stolen from the Reserve Bank by the apartheid guys just before they gave us power. And we know where the money is. We know how much that money is. And why is it that 4 years later, the Office of the Public Protector has not made progress? We send letters as the Black First Land First to their office who have not received even acknowledgement. So we're saying there's corruption in this country, but the main problem here is white capital, protected unfortunately by our government. And this march today has nothing to do with white capital, the real billions which have been stolen.
Okay. Public protector, this is a very interesting point. Do you know of this matter?
Mr. Seru, what I would confirm is that there have been quite a number of requests over the years for us to investigate what happened in the run-up to the demise of the apartheid regime. In fact, to investigate apartheid corruption. And I will confirm that those investigations have not taken traction or moved. And under probably a number of public protectors, because I think for us currently one of
why is it not a priority?
One of the concerns it would be resources. But I think
what we will do, I want to challenge you.
What I will do, because I have not been part of that decision-making process. What I will promise Mr. Mngxitama is to say, when I get to the office tomorrow, I will.
So we must come back tomorrow.
I will give him a call to say where is this. Where is this process? Because there are quite a number of frustrated civil society members who say, look, they want to know what happened in the run-up. The apartheid government was corrupt. It's just that obviously there is more light shown on the post-democracy government. And I think,
are you saying, Andile, that you know where this money is?
Everybody knows. 3 reports. Judge Davis, Judge Heath, and the CIX report by a London-based group, which came to Thabo Mbeki and said, we can find this money. And they gave Thabo Mbeki the report. And our president then put the report under the table. 2011, the public protector says, I am going to investigate this matter. Nothing has happened. So we know the names, we know the money, We know how the money was stolen from the people, from the Reserve Bank. We're talking about billions of rand, which can go to the poor, the unemployed youth. And in total, by the way, we're talking about 563 billion rand. This is your priority. This is not, yes, make sure Zuma and others paid little money that they're stealing from the state, if that is true. But can't we focus on the real corruption, which is continuing, by the way? Just a few years ago, we know after 2010, 50 billion rand was declared stolen by the construction cartels. And you know what our government said? Fine, take the money, just pay 2 billion rand. It was not the first time. Our research report shows that in the year 2003, the year 2010, Treasury and our current Reserve Bank actually gave amnesty to companies that had declared that they've stolen, have taken away 68 billion rand from this country. Okay. All this money is there. We know the names of the people. The problem is the public protector. And I suppose our government is not focusing on the real. They are afraid to confront white capital. This is the problem. Let's go for the real corruption. Okay.
Just hold it there. I want us to take a quick break. When we return, we'll also be taking your calls from home there. The numbers? 089-110-4210 if you're outside the borders, 002789-110-4210. Our Twitter handle remains at QuestionTime24. What do you think of today's match? What do you think about corruption?
My people, we are getting there, and thanks to you, Pati is set to become our country's 12th official language. Here's today's word. Substitute. Replacing a drinking buddy with somebody more fun. That's more like it.
Help make Pati South Africa's 12th official language. Sign the petition today.
I've got a credit card.
Cut! Oi! Sit!
Get behind Rugby World Cup 2015 on SABC.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. Before we continue with our discussion, let's take a look at what Evan Jim had to say about corruption.
We're taking this action to mobilize society to say it is time for South Africans to stand up against the system of capitalism, which is inherently a corrupt system. It breeds corruption.
Right. Now, here, our viewers at home, we've got a very colorful stats clip here on our wall. Now, Andile, I want you to take us through this, because you came up with this, right? Please come through.
Sure.
And tell us, right, all in all, how much are we talking about?
563 billion rand was stolen, and we say that 141 billion we can recover tomorrow, because that is the money that we know where it is. Now, quickly, if you look at our chart here, 422 billion was money taken out as capital flight in 1 year, 2007, when Thabo Mbeki was president. So we know that it is 20% of the GDP, by the way. 20%. Now, no way that we can allow that to happen. Now, 26 billion is the money that we say it is in the Public Protector's Office. They know about that report. There's an official complaint. We have written letters to say there was something that happened just around the end of apartheid. They called the Love Boat. And there are companies, including ABSA, the Rembrandt, who benefited from money stolen from the Reserve Bank. Now, 68 billion is the money that was declared offshore, and our government gave them amnesty. So these guys say, we stole this amount of money, amnesty, and that 48 billion is got to do with the construction cartel. We know about the 2010 World Cup and how they clapped together and they again the Competition Commission spoke to them and they said indeed they are guilty.
Hold it there. Let's take Anonymous. You're calling us from Mpumalanga.
Yeah, Baba.
Yes.
Yeah, la imbalance seconds.
All right.
Yeah. Ngisacela ukubuza ubaba lapho lona ummeli wethu osinayene lapho no u-public protector eduty. Kwaba nezincwadi esithumela lapho ukuthi bake bazoziphenya lana phambi kwale company ethu enkulu engake ngibize ngegama. Ukuthi kahle kahle kwenzakalani ngomasipala walana ngoba kunama-alert azenzela bekuyathanda ngakhona. Ngizocela ukuthi ubaba lapha kaPhendule.
Umasipala wakuphi?
Wase Embalenhle Sekunda.
All right, Embalenhle Sekunda Malunga. You know about this?
Yes, Babi Spongo.
No, he says he's anonymous.
He's anonymous. Okay. Yes. No, that's fine. What I would want to say is that we investigate municipalities all the time. And by far, in fact, 31% of our stats say that the problems are there. So we get lots of complaints. What I would encourage the caller to do is, because Mbalenhle Sekunda is very close to Johannesburg, even closer than Nelspruit, that he can come to either our Pretoria offices or Johannesburg office on Bree Street, and then we will then address that particular issue. And I understand that he's complaining about tenders in the municipalities. This is actually a problem all over the place. Okay. Northwest is probably one of our worst affected areas. Most of the municipalities are under administration and so forth. So I think what we do is then we will just address it as and when. Okay.
And you are saying that if government could centralize tenders, perhaps that could help solve the situation?
Well, there is already an initiative that was started by former finance minister, now cooperative governance minister, Pravin Gordhan, where he has started a central procurement office. But I think what would work is really a situation where the whole process is more transparent. I particularly like Barbara Creasy's approach here, the way she handled the Gauteng Treasury banking approach, where everybody, it was open season. Section 217 of the Constitution says procurement must be cost effective, transparent, and fair. And in most cases, it is not. There is funny business with regard to who gets onto bid committees, who gets things under the table. We get those allegations almost every single day. And then, of course, for me, and I want to highlight that the big issue is that there must be consequences. Because I think what we're not seeing is that when people are found out, nothing happens. You know, it's a little slap on the wrist or absolutely nothing.
And the golden handshake.
Well, I don't have proof of a golden handshake. but for just back to Mr. Mngutama's issues, we as the public protector, remember, we have jurisdiction over the state. So what must be clear is where the state failed. So if you're saying the 2007 under President Mbeki, if there was a failure to do something, then we can get in. But of course, when it comes to cartels and other things, there are certain criminal aspects that things have to be prosecuted in that regard. And so there is quite a limit as far as how far our jurisdiction goes as far as pursuing corruption.
But we're very fast on other things. But I mean, if
we do.
What he's saying
but
is
let's
true.
Explain that we're talking about money stolen from the state. This money, this 26 billion specifically, it's money stolen. It's money taken from the Reserve Bank, money taken from our people, money that belongs to our people. The public protector must protect the public. We're saying we're a poor country. There's impunity. There's no point in calling for politicians to account when the private sector is allowed to steal at will.
Allow me to just take another call. Anonymous, you're calling us from Limpopo.
Yes, how are you, Mpo?
I'm doing well, thanks for the call.
Yes, I'd like to make, you know what, over the years the government has been issuing tenders, like starting from 1994. And we know for the fact that the government has been issuing tenders, but they were incomplete projects for. Is it possible for those people to at least investigate those incomplete projects but the money has been awarded to those people, but they were incomplete projects since 1994, and I think they can recover billions from that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good point. We'll come to that. Let's also take a look at some of the tweets, what our viewers are saying there at home. I think Mr. Malunga, Olani Ngwegazi says, the march was a success. All the corrupt officials received the message that we are going to get them. They must stop it. Okay, that's Olani Ngogazi. Blackfest Ruben Fumani says corruption against white capital must be rooted out. Okay, and Putuma Nigelo, please can you tell Andile to go back to EFF? We still need him there because he is such a great leader. Strong, brave, arrogant, powerful. At question time 24. Dougie, welcome to question time.
Oh, how are you guys?
I'm well. How are you, Dougie?
All right. Listen, that guy that was with the EFF, he must cried the last time. Julius Malema is going to give him another hiding. And I hope you don't allow him on the show again.
Oh, why?
Because he doesn't know. He must then give you proof today. He must tell you who took that money. He's talking about 2007. Thabo Mbeki was in then.
Yes.
Why didn't Thabo Mbeki then do something about it? If he's got the proof, he's got the know-how.
Okay.
If he's so clever, this guy, this youngster.
Yes.
If he's so clever, he must tell you where that stuff is, and they must bring that money.
Okay.
Since he's so clever. And then the other thing is, the public protector is doing a good job. But he doesn't know what he's talking about. I tell you, he doesn't know the first thing what he's saying.
Dougie, it appears that nobody knows what they're talking about here in your...
1994, the most corruption that's taken place is been since 1994.
No, but are you saying, Dougie, wait. Dougie, wait. Listen. Are you saying that there's no corruption that ever happened under apartheid?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay. Are you saying that there was corruption that happened under apartheid?
I'm saying there was certain corruption. We all know about that.
Okay.
We all know about that. But
okay,
it is nothing compared to what is happening nowadays.
Okay.
I mean, it's municipalities, it's the government themselves. Look at the railways, the PRASA. Look at them. Look at Petro, SA. All of these guys, he wants to just blame one group. He must look at it, he must remember he's pointing a finger to one group.
Which one?
Got three pointing back to him.
Which group is he pointing at?
To the white group.
And you're saying...
He forgets that he's got three pointing back to him, to the black group.
All right. Thank you very much, Dougie. Thanks for the call. Let me get comments.
But I mean, this is the kind of typical white racists who believe that white people cannot be corrupt, and all the corruption happened because black people are in power. I don't think we should take such people seriously. We're talking about serious things here. We're saying that there are reports which are there, and we said there's complaints. All that needs to happen is actioning all this and making sure that money is being returned to poor people. You know, when I look at the figure of 563 billion rand, I just imagine what we can do with our people, black youth, unemployed. Some people have never seen money, serious money, to help them to build a family. And they are like 30 years, some of them 40 years. This is their money which was stolen from our people. So we can't deal with corruption if we're not ethical, if we're not rigorous, and if we don't understand the connection between the past, now, and in particular the state that we inherited. This state is corrupt. Problem is 1994 we did not transform the apartheid state. So those who are managing the state are just continuing exactly like what the apartheid leaders were doing.
Okay. Incomplete projects. Is there something that the public protector can have a look at? That indeed there are some projects that were just incomplete but monies were paid up. Perhaps take it up as a project of the public protector?
Indeed, we get a lot of those complaints. A lot of procurement goes wrong where there's a dispute between the state organ and the person who's received, and people are kicked off site and so forth. But definitely a significant part of the problem and for me, the biggest threat to South Africa is defective state procurement. And so we get a lot of these complaints where people are saying tenders have been given to people who don't know anything about roads, about whatever. And we investigate.
Okay.
If I believe he's in Limpopo, he can just go to our Polokwane office, and we have an office in Messina, and lodge a complaint.
Okay.
And we will take care of. We are investigating these issues, and of course we have made findings.
Okay, gentlemen. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, and I guess the fight against corruption has also run out of time. It has to happen.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
But the corrupt can't lead marches against corruption. It's very important that this fight is ethical, is principled, and its corruption must not be used for political, narrow football games.
By who?
Well, the people who led the march today, the three of them, at least I would say Julius Malema, Ivan Jim, and Vavi, are involved in politics. They're not involved in a fight against corruption.
Okay. That was question time for today. A big thank you to my guests and to you for watching the show. From me and the entire crew, have yourself a wonderful time. Goodbye.